May I recall Government Corporate Counsel, Attorney Solomon Hermosura, for interpellation.
Good afternoon, Your Honors.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Government Corporate Counsel, Attorney Hermosura. May I request Attorney Cuevas to please read into the records the pertinent TSN of the proceedings during the first day of the oral argument on February 4, 2025, pages 68 to 69.
With the kind indulgence of the court, and I quote, Associate Justice Lazaro Javier, yes, so I would like to go back to my question earlier. When do you decide to just assign a portion or the full 30 billion to cover the reserve funds? Yes, Attorney Hermosura. Attorney Hermosura, I can answer based on the Universal Health Care Act, Your Honor. Associate Justice Lazaro Javier, yes. Attorney Hermosura, I have read the law and the law does not prescribe the factors that the Philhealth Board should consider. So that's why, in my view, it is addressed to the business judgment. And I have been in the boards of many companies and I have seen the various ways business judgment can be exercised. Some people can be conservative, some people can be aggressive. I would say that I will not, let's say, if I were in the Philhealth Board, I will not set a high reserve fund if I am confident that I can get political support for a bigger subsidy for Philhealth. Because there is no limit to the subsidy that government can provide to Philhealth, Your Honor. And if I may also mention, the liabilities of Philhealth are guaranteed by the Republic of the Philippines. Associate Justice Lazaro Javier, all right. So you mean to say that the subsidy of government can come anytime depending on the needs of Philhealth? Yes. Yes, Attorney Hermosura, it is settled, Your Honor, that a social health insurance is a matter of political negotiation. Associate Justice Lazaro Javier, well, I do not know about that. I just want to simplify things, unquote. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Cuevas. So these are my questions. Attorney Hermosura, what do you mean by political negotiation?
Your Honor, if I may just also explain that I was responding to your last question, meaning as read by the clerk of court, the question of, you mean to say that the subsidy of government can come anytime depending on the needs of Philhealth? Yes, yeah. So if I had the opportunity, Your Honors, I would have elaborated that Section 37 of the Universal Health Care Act provides, and I quote from the law, Your Honor, the DOH, in coordination with Philhealth, may request Congress to appropriate supplemental funding to meet targeted milestones of this act. I would have also mentioned, Your Honors, that the government has done more to advance universal health care during this administration than in past administration.
Yes, noted. So,
No.
yes, would you like to continue?
I think what I mean, Your Honor, by so if there is a need for more funds, Your Honor, for Philhealth, they can ask the Congress for supplemental funding that is under the Universal Health Care Act. And anytime that the Congress and the executive allot resources for government projects, Your Honors, that is a political process. It's a decision on resource allocation and prioritization of societal needs, which are the outcomes of negotiation among the government, civil society, and other stakeholders.
Political negotiations. Is 37 negotiable? Yes. Section 37, is that negotiable? UHCA, the sources of appropriations for PhilHealth?
you're referring to Section 37 of the National Health Insurance
Yes, the sources of appropriations, is that negotiable?
Well, in the sense that if those sources are not enough, Your Honor, the DOH, together with Philhealth, can ask for supplemental funding from Congress. Your
Yes,
Honor.
but we're not even talking about the supplemental budget. Very clearly, I understand from your statement that the fixing of the amount of the reserve fund would depend on your confidence whether you will get much political support or not. Meaning, and you said that if you were confident to get support, political support, political support, you would not fix a high reserve fund. What does that mean?
Oh,
That the amount of reserve fund would depend on your
No,
expectation.
no, I was responding to your immediate question, Your Honor, which was whether I meant to say that the subsidy of government can come anytime, depending on the needs of PhilHealth.
Yes.
And so, I mean, when PhilHealth so needs, then the DOH together with PhilHealth can request for supplemental budget, Your Honors.
Yes.
That's all that I meant, Your Honor.
That's all that you meant. All right. But of course, we cannot segregate or separate that from your earlier statement that you have read the law and the law does not prescribe the factors that the PhilHealth Board should consider. So that's why, in my view, it is addressed to the business judgment. We're talking here of business judgment. And I have been in the boards of many companies, and I have seen the various ways business judgment can be exercised. Some people can be conservative. Some people can be aggressive. I would say that I will not, let's say, if I were in the PhilHealth Board, I will not set a high reserve fund if I am confident that I can get political support for a bigger subsidy for PhilHealth, because there is no limit to the subsidy that government can provide to PhilHealth, Your Honor. And if I may also mention, the liabilities of PhilHealth are guaranteed by the Republic of the Philippines. This just gives me the impression that from your statement that the reserve fund, the amount that the board may fix, would depend on something that may or may not come, like the subsidy of the government. You have first to negotiate. And even after you have negotiated, there is no certainty at all that the subsidy you would like to receive will be given by the government. That is my impression from your statement.
Well, actually, I was referring to many variables that may be considered by the PhilHealth Board, Your Honor. Actually, if you so require me, Your Honor, I can share materials, including a report of the World Health Organization in 2010 on health system financing, which discusses how moving toward a universal health care is fundamentally a political process.
Yes, that leads me to my next question. Your statement was, it is settled that social health insurance is a matter of political negotiation. You know, honestly, this is the first time I've heard of this. I've always believed that health is non-negotiable. And can you please respond if it is settled in jurisprudence or law that
No,
health insurance is a matter of political negotiation?
I'm referring to these materials from a World Health Organization report in 2010. I can share the
So
materials, Your Honor.
you are saying that it is settled. Settled by who? Where?
Oh, it's like a general understanding. That's what I
Alright.
mean, Your Honor.
All right, so there is no jurisprudence, there is no law.
No, Your Honors, but
Yes.
one administration can do better than others. And I can say that this administration has done better than the past. I think I look at the numbers, and just for 6 years from 2016 to 2022, Philhealth's corporate operating budget increased by 25% from 126.4 billion to 168 billion.
All right, that's well
While-
taken.
For 3 years of this administration, from 2022 to 2025, Philhealth's corporate operating budget increased by 41% from 168 billion to
All right,
284 billion.
noted. And I would appreciate, the court would appreciate if you will include that as one of your submissions to the court.
Yes,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
So, when you speak of government subsidy, do you refer to the funds coming from PAGCOR, Syntax, PCSO, DOH appropriations, or government subsidy that is altogether separate and distinct from
Well-
these sources?
Actually, the Section 37, Section 37 of the Universal Health Insurance Act, Your Honor, says that all the amount necessary to implement this universal health insurance shall be sourced from
Yes.
those
So
that you-
my question I would like to repeat is, when you speak of government subsidy, do you speak of the funds coming from PAGCOR, from Syntax, from PCSO, DOH appropriations, or government subsidy that is independent from these sources altogether?
Actually, all those sources of funds, Your Honor, they are implemented through the provisions also under Section 37.
Yes.
It says, the last paragraph, Your Honor, it says, the amount necessary to implement the provisions of this act shall be included in the General Appropriations Act
Correct.
and shall be appropriated under the DOH and the national government subsidy to PhilHealth.
Correct. So, is it safe to say that this is an automatic appropriation every single year? Because the funds need not be fixed anymore by the Congress because the amounts are already fixed by law.
Well, my understanding of the
So
section...
is it the subject of automatic appropriation every year?
The law doesn't mention automatic appropriation, Your Honor.
Can you please read the provision?
Well,
Yes.
the first part says, Your Honor, the amount necessary to implement this act shall be sourced from the following. And then it's
Yes.
an enumeration of the sources, Your Honors.
All right. And the first one is the total incremental Syntax collections. And in relation to 10351, it says that after deducting the allocations under Republic Act 7171 and 8240, 80% of the remaining balance of the incremental revenue derived shall be allocated for the universal health care under the National Health Insurance Program, the attainment of the Millennium Development Goals and Health Awareness Program. Is that not automatic?
From the PhilHealth's perspective, Your Honor, it receives the appropriations for premium contributions of...
I'm not even
Yes.
speaking about premium contributions. I'm just speaking about the sources coming from Syntaxes, from PCSO, from PABCOR.
Because the last paragraph of this provision, Your Honors, also specifies the mode of operationalizing this provision. And it says...
How?
It says the amount necessary to implement the provisions of this act shall be included in the GAA.
Of course, it should be
Yes.
indicated in the GAA because by then, the amounts would have been certain already. All right. So, at any rate, from your statement last time, I gathered that the higher the amount of subsidy you expect from the government through the so-called political negotiation, the lesser the amount of reserve funds you will earmark coming from the accumulated assets of Philhealth. Is that correct?
Coming, the higher the
Yes.
No,
The
the-
higher you expect from the
The-
government through the so-called political negotiation, the
I'm-
lesser the amount of reserve funds you will earmark coming from the accumulated assets of Philhealth.
I'm
So, is that correct?
I don't remember that, Your Honor, but I know that the practice of Philhealth, Your Honor, has been to set the reserve fund equal to or lower than
Yes,
the
but
ceiling.
but you forgot about your statement already. We just read it back, and I don't wish to read it back again. Anyway, from your statement as well, the amount of reserve funds, it would seem to me, does not depend on the amount of PhilHealth's accumulated revenues, but on the amount it expects to receive from the government, which is a mere expectation that may or may not become real.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't, I can't remember saying.
All right, it's okay. And I just would like to stress that under Section 11 of the Universal Health Care Act, the reserve funds must be sourced from the accumulated revenues of the agency. And when you say accumulated revenues, it means that they already include the taxes or the subsidy from the government and all the monies collected coming from the sources enumerated under Section 37.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes. So with that, Attorney Hermosura, I really thank you very much, and you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. May I continue, Chief Justice? May I now call on Senior Vice President Lim Siaco of Philhealth to respond to my next questions.
Good afternoon, Your Honors.
Yes, good afternoon, Senior Vice President Lim Siaco.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes. So, would you agree that political negotiation is a principal factor in determining the amount of reserve funds to be fixed by the PhilHealth Board?
Your Honor, in the coming up of the approved JAA for Philhealth, Philhealth submitted the proposal. And based on the evaluation of DBM,
You know,
it will be incorporated in the NEP,
Yes.
Your Honor. And during the time that it will be deliberated in the Congress, Your Honor, that's the time that on the part of, as mentioned by GCC, Your Honor, political negotiations come in. It is either retained based on the NEP or it will be increased, Your Honor, depending on the appreciation of the Congress as well, Your Honor.
all right. So, does it mean that you still negotiate the transmittal of the appropriations fixed by law under Section 37?
Your Honor, we have Section 37, Your Honor, but of course, in the final JA, Your Honor, it is negotiation, Your Honor, PhilHealth, Department of Health, and the Congress, Your Honor, on
You have
what
to negotiate
particular-
it, notwithstanding the clear command over Section 37 that the appropriations shall come from these funds, from these sources. You have to negotiate.
Your Honor, negotiation in the sense that, of course, the Congress asking Philhealth on its utilization of the previous and the implementation of the program as well, Your Honor. And it is our on the side of Philhealth, Your Honor, we depend the proposal of the corporation, Your Honor, of course, and that it will be retained based on the NEP or it will be increased, Your Honor.
So, the percentages are negotiated, even though they are fixed by law, like 50% from PCSO,
Your Honor,
80% from syntax. Do you still negotiate, or it should be automatic?
Your Honor, depending on the amount that will be computed by Department of Finance, Your Honor, on the percentages.
You know, the amount is a mere arithmetical computation. We go by the percentages fixed by law.
Yes, Your Honor.
So despite the percentages fixed by law, you know, the actual amount is just a computation. So does it mean that Congress is not following the percentages prescribed by law?
Your Honor, in the past years, Your Honor, based on the NEP, it is carried, Your Honor, in the General Appropriations Act.
You know, my question is very clear.
Yes, po.
I'm talking about the percentages fixed by law under Section 37. My impression from your statement is that despite the percentages already fixed by law, the Congress, you still need to negotiate with Congress for the actual percentages that may be included in the GAA for the subsidy of Philhealth. Is that the reality on the ground?
Yes, Your Honor. We tried to defend the
Yes.
proposal of the corporation,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Yes, well taken. So now I proceed from where we left off last Tuesday. I would like to finish with the COA's basis for disclaimer of opinion issued in 2022. Attorney Cuevas, can you help us again? Read into the records.
The faithful representation of the provision for health benefits incurred but not reported account with year-end balance of 95.099 billion pesos is doubtful due to significant risks of misstatement resulting from unexpended balances of accrued liabilities between 2018 and 2021, ranging from 8.808 billion pesos to 37.722 billion pesos, which runs counter to the required fair and faithful presentation of financial transactions as outlined in the Philippine Accounting Standards and the Conceptual Framework for Financial Reporting. May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, please continue.
In addition, there are other issues that further compromise the accuracy of the account, which include, letter A, the absence of a well-defined policy on the proper accounting of prior years in course of settlement or ICS claims, resulted in the failure to assess the reasonableness of the unexpected balance of ICS from prior years, amounting to 17.161 billion pesos. And letter B, presence of irregularities in the calendar year 2022 admissions, including 1, 6,798 claims amounting to 63.985 million pesos from 3,380 unique Philhealth identification numbers or PINs, but different member names. 2, 710 claims amounting to 6.388 million pesos from 355 members with 2 different PINs. And 3, 1,583 claims amounting to 4.632 million pesos with irregular or incomplete entries/data due to the absence of system controls. These issues increase the risk of misstatement of the account, hence cannot be considered to have represented fairly the subject transactions as required under the Philippine accounting standards.
Continue.
The reliability of the financial liabilities account with a year-end balance of 3.349 billion pesos is doubtful due to the presence of 94,625 claims amounting to 1.450 billion pesos that were returned to healthcare institutions or HCIs beyond the 60-day turnaround time prescribed by the National Health Insurance Act. In addition, 664 claims amounting to 3.649 million pesos were found to have irregular entries or data which do not accurately represent the actual transactions required under the Philippine accounting standards. The absence of a well-defined policy and sufficient controls to regulate these transactions poses a significant risk of unreliable balances, unsettled liabilities, and decreased operational efficiency in the processing and payment of claims.
Thank
Your Honor.
you. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Senior Vice President, according to you, during the last oral argument at a certain cut-off period, Philhealth has settled all its obligations, hence is left with no unpaid obligations for that certain cut-off period. Is that correct?
Your Honor, I cannot recall that saying that one, Your Honor. But my statement, Your Honor, if I may, Your Honor, in any certain given cutoff date, Philhealth still have a payable to the hospital, meaning claims will be processed, but claims will also enter the Philhealth system for processing, Your Honor.
So those that enter the system of Philhealth are the approved claims.
Not yet,
Yes,
Your Honor.
not yet.
Because it will be submitted to Philhealth, received by Philhealth, and will be processed by Philhealth, Your Honor.
All right. Now, how reliable are the numbers, or were the numbers you reported in your financial report?
Your Honor, when we talk about reliability, Your Honor, we're trying to come up with a fair
Yes.
presentation of the FS, Your Honor.
Yes, but
and we
your-
received 15 million claims, if may, Your Honor, 15 million claims per year, Your Honor. And of course, on the 15 million claims, Your Honor, makikita ho natin that there are some claims that has found out by COA that has some needs to be rectified, Your Honor.
Yes, so you do not challenge the finding of COA that Philhealth lacks sufficient controls to keep track of its transactions.
Your
Yes,
Honor, we are,
thus increasing the risk for unsettled liabilities.
Your Honor, we are addressing the findings of COA, Your Honor, to put controls and change the process of recording, Your Honor. And Your Honor, we have this program right now, the FinMare program, Your Honor, that proper way of recording of our benefit claims, Your Honor, in our books of accounts, Your Honor.
So this observation of COA is accurate.
Your Honor, we confirm, Your Honor, that that findings of the Commission on Audit, Your Honor.
So because of this, the numbers indicated in your financial statements cannot be completely relied upon.
Your Honor, the reliability, Your Honor, depending on the materiality of the findings, Your Honor. So again, as I mentioned, Your Honor, we have 15 million claims in a year, amounting to nearly 150 billion pesos, Your Honor.
So it means that Philhealth is not capable of processing all the claims that are filed with it in a given year.
Your Honor, you're correct, Your Honor, because as I mentioned, Your Honor, claims come into the Philhealth for processing and claims will be paid. But as of certain given times, say for instance, December 31, Your Honor, there are still claims unprocessed or unprocessed, Your Honor, given that Philhealth has given
Yes.
60 days to process a claim, Your Honor.
You cannot cope up with 15 million claims
Your Honor,
yearly.
Your Honor, if saying to zero out the claims as of a given date, Your Honor, it is impossible, Your Honor. Given again, in any given period, Your Honor, claims pumapasok sa sistema ng PhilHealth for
But
processing, Your
all
Honor.
these claims are coming from people who are sick, who need urgent financial assistance to settle their hospital bills. These people, many of them are fighting for their lives in the hospitals. Perhaps all 15 million claims filed with your office.
Your
Yes.
Honor, the claims is being filed by the health facilities, Your Honor. In other words, the hospital received the document from the patient in the hospital or the health facilities, be the one to submit the claims to PhilHealth, Your Honor. Again, I would like to mention, Your Honor, that PhilHealth has given 60 days to process the claims, po, Your
Yes,
Honor.
and according also to the findings of COA, the 60-day run-around period has not been complied with.
Your Honor, there are instances, Your Honor, that claims filed, paid beyond 60 days, Your Honor. But, Your Honor, I would like to state, Your Honor, that majority of the claims, majority or I have the figures, Your Honor.
Yes, we'll see
I just
about
want to see that one.
Now, let us go to your 2023 financial statement.
Yes, po.
You know, it's very important that we become aware of your financial standing, your status for these 3 years, 21, 22, 23, because it is from these years that the 89 billion was charged, was collected, and transferred to the National Treasury, 69.9. Had not the last tranche been restrained. All right. So we flash on the screen the 2023 financial statement of Philhealth. In 2023, the COA reported that the total assets of Philhealth amounted to 588 billion plus. The total liabilities amounted to 1.2 trillion plus. Out of 1.2 trillion plus, 1.14 trillion plus represented Philhealth's insurance contract liabilities. Based on these numbers coming from COA, Philhealth had a negative equity of 663 billion plus in 2023. Per independent auditor's report dated September 11, 2024, or just 6 months ago, the COA issued a qualified opinion, which means that this time, at least partially, Philhealth's financial statements present fairly in all material aspects the financial position of Philhealth as of December 31, 2023, and its financial performance. But for the rest of the financial statements, COA issued a qualified opinion. So may I again request Attorney Cuevas, please don't get tired, Attorney Cuevas, to read the pertinent portions of COA's independent auditor's report.
I quote, "The faithful representation in the financial statements for insurance contract liabilities or ICL amounting to 1.150 trillion pesos and 266.873 billion pesos for calendar years 2023 and 2022 respectively cannot be ascertained due to the following factors. Letter A, the completeness and accuracy of the claims and premium data cannot be established, casting doubt on the reliability of the reported figures. Letter B, the evaluation of the calendar year 2023 actuarial valuation report intended to assess the adequacy of the ICL revealed inconsistencies and irregularities that affects its reliability and validity to third parties. Letter C, the use of different measurement basis for the provision for ICL diminishes the comparability of information in the financial statements, hindering the users from making informed economic decisions. And letter D, the absence of reasonableness test on expense loading further undermines the reliability of the ICL account in the financial statements, which are inconsistent with Philippine accounting standards, Philippine financial reporting standard, and revised conceptual framework for financial reporting." Unquote.
Thank you, Attorney Cueva. So in fine, again, 1.15 trillion plus ICL for 2023 was misstated according to COA. And more likely than not, if correctly reported, would have been bigger. So Attorney Cuevas, please continue reading the COA's report.
And I quote, "The presentation and disclosures of provisions and contingencies are not in compliance with the minimum requirements of the Philippine accounting standards due to the following issues. Letter A, provisions and contingent liabilities for appealed benefit claims are not adequately presented or disclosed in the financial statements due to an insufficient monitoring and reporting mechanism, resulting in the misstatement of accrued benefit claims, payable and provision for health benefits incurred but not reported by an unidentified amount. And letter B, contingent assets arising from outstanding legal cases are improperly disclosed in the notes to financial statements due to the lack of policy on specific classification criteria for estimating the outcome of the inflow of economic benefits." Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Cuevas. I cannot thank you enough. According to COA, there are multiple unreported transactions. Hence, we can say that if all the transactions were reported, the total liabilities of COA would have been significantly greater than the reported figure. In sum, COA was saying that the records made available to it pertaining to the reported transactions being incomplete cannot be the basis of an accurate audit of the total liabilities of Philhealth because, again, there are numerous unreported transactions. So for the last time, Attorney Cuevas, may I request you to read the other observations of COA?
In preparing the financial statements, management is responsible for assessing the Philhealth's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing, as applicable, matters related to going concern and using the going concern basis of accounting unless management either intends to liquidate the Philhealth or to cease operations or has no realistic alternative but to do so. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you again. Right. So, Mr. Senior Vice President, yes, are you also a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or architect?
Your Honor, I am not a lawyer. I am not a, I am a certified public accountant and has a doctorate degree in human resource, Your Honor.
Yeah. How long have you been with Philhealth, sir?
Your Honor, this is my 24th years, 23rd years with Philhealth, Your Honor.
So you have the institution, you're the institutional memory of Philhealth. You should be preserved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
you,
you.
Your Honor.
So, my question is, based on these COA reports, do you think Philhealth still has the ability to continue as a going concern without aid from the national government?
Your Honor, Philhealth is a government-owned and controlled corporation. And Philhealth can continuously implement this program, can operate, Your Honor, even, as you mentioned, Your Honor, without a subsidy from the national government, Your Honor. Of course, the subsidy of the national government is very important, Your Honor, for the expansion of benefits and, of course, the expansion of beneficiaries already given by Republic Act 11223, Your Honor.
Are you telling the court that never has the national government rescued Philhealth?
Your Honor,
When it comes to its inability, supposed inability to meet or pay all its liabilities, the government never came to the rescue of Philhealth?
Your Honor, hindi pa naman ho dumating sa...
Hindi pa dumating sa puntong
pagkakataon
yon.
po. Yes,
Ano
Your
pala
Honor.
ang narating natin?
Your Honor, Philhealth continuously implement its program, and our board, which kasama po the national government, we have the DBM, we have the Department of Finance, and other government agencies, Your Honor, looking into the operations of the
Yes, so
corporation.
no need to negotiate with the national government on subsidy because you are self-sufficient.
Your Honor, on the self-sufficiency, Your Honor, again, the National Health Insurance Program, Your Honor, will be expanded and the universal health care will be attained once mayroon ho, of course, subsidy from the national government, Your Honor.
So you will still depend. And up to now, you are depending.
Yes po,
From
Your
the
Honor.
very start, you have been depending on the national government subsidy, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So without the national government subsidy, would you have collapsed?
Your Honor, if the expansion of benefit that made in the year 2024, Your Honor, ma-implement natin ng tuloy-tuloy, Your Honor, of course, kailangan natin ng national government subsidy, Your Honor.
So we're looking forward, moving forward.
Yes, Your Honor.
But where you are standing now, your situation now, the present financial status of PhilHealth, do you need rescue from the national government?
Your Honor, the status of the financial of PhilHealth right now, Your Honor, enough to cover the year 2025 operations, Your Honor.
Oath.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. All right. That opinion,
Your Honor, that is based on the financial record, Your Honor.
even with the findings of COA, you will still insist that you're financially sound,
Yes, Your Honor.
even without government subsidy.
Your Honor, again, kailangan talaga yung government subsidy.
Kailangan.
But
So,
of course,
kung walang government subsidy, nasaan ang PhilHealth?
Your Honor, still in the year 2025, we operating PhilHealth, Your Honor, based on the programs that we are implementing right now, Your Honor.
Yes,
again,
and these programs are are funded? Full? In full?
In the year 2025, Your Honor, available po yung pondo po natin, Your Honor.
Nasaan yung pondo? Binigay na ba sa inyo ng Treasury?
Your Honor, on existing funds of the corporation, Your Honor, our investable fund as of December 31, 2024.
You know, my problem with your existing funds is this. You always do not consider the funds that should cover the reserve funds. That is my problem. Even though the command of Section 11 is for the reserve funds to be set aside. And when you set aside the reserve funds, it means it's real money. It's not just abstract. It's just not numbers. Because anytime the risk will become reality. That is my problem. Because you always do not recognize yet the funds that should cover the reserve funds.
Your Honor, if may I, Your Honor, in every year, Your Honor, we have the corporate operating budget, Your Honor. And this corporate operating budget, Your Honor, mayroon siyang kaakibat na corporate revenue as well. Kumbaga, may pumapasok na revenue. In the year 2024, Your Honor, our corporate revenue, enough or more than enough to cover the expenditures, Your Honor.
Expenditures, how about the reserve funds? The formula under Section 11 is this, right? Total revenues less expenditures. And the balance, that is where you will get your reserve funds.
Your Honor,
And your reserve funds, the amount should depend on the actuarial valuation for 2 years. Correct?
Your Honor, if may I, on the part of the accumulated revenue that we have, Your Honor, we set aside the reserve fund. Set aside na siya. Then, in the
What
operation...
did you say again, please?
Na-set aside po natin. From the accumulated revenue.
So you are reversing the process prescribed by law?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
That is what you were saying. Oh, reserve na agad siya. Hindi ba dapat accumulated revenues less expenditures? And then the total, the balance, that is where you get your reserve funds. And your reserve funds must correspond to the actuarial estimate.
Your Honor, mayroon ho tayong revenue that, of course, projected for a year. In that revenue, Your Honor, yun po ang ginagamit po din natin in sourcing out the expenditures po of the year. Meaning, the operation of the corporation for, say for instance, year 2025, much more dependent din pati siya, Your Honor, on the revenue po natin expected to be received for that particular year, Your Honor. So, ganun po siya, recognizing the revenue and then of course the estimated expenditures po.
And then the balance will go to the reserve funds.
We'll go to the accumulated revenue, Your Honor, or the surplus that we have.
All right.
Yes po.
Okay. May I proceed to the next question?
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, did the transfer of 69.9 billion to the National Treasury make Philhealth an economically viable guarantor of the people's access to quality and affordable health care and protection against financial risk?
Your Honor, the amount transferred to...
Can you just please go direct to the point? Yes or no?
Sorry, Your Honor. Again, Your Honor, 60 billion pa lang po na transfer po natin.
Palang.
Opo.
Konti lang, no?
60 billion po.
All
Not
right,
89
60
po.
billion,
Opo.
not 69?
Yes po.
O ilan ba gusto nating i-transfer?
It is estimated, Your Honor.
All right. So what is your short answer to my short question?
Your Honor, sorry, Your Honor. Philhealth's, nag-operate si Philhealth po, Your Honor, in the year 2024.
Did it help Philhealth's financial condition? Did it upgrade your financial level when you transferred 60 billion to the National Treasury?
Your Honor, despite the transfer, Your Honor, PhilHealth's investable fund from 498 in December 2023 and versus December 2024, Your Honor, of 492 billion.
So what is your answer? No? Or
Your
yes?
Honor,
Yes or no?
Your Honor, very sorry, Your Honor. Your Honor, PhilHealth operates the program, Your Honor, expanding the benefit payment.
All right.
Tumaas pa
So
siya.
I will go to my next question.
Yes po.
Did the transfer of this amount to the National Treasury reduce the deficit of PhilHealth in the amount of 663 billion plus in 2023?
Your Honor, if you are talking...
Just a straight answer,
Sorry po.
Mr. Senior Vice President.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yes.
Apology po. Of course, Your Honor, the 60 billion that we transferred reduces...
Yes or no? Yes or no? My question is so simple and it is answerable only by yes or no.
Your Honor, it reduces, Your Honor.
It reduces the deficit, even though, yes, did I hear it right? Your transfer of 60 billion to the National Treasury reduced your deficit.
Your Honor, I think baliktad sa Your Honor. Because it reduces our accumulated revenue. And of course, kung sa total members' equity, Your Honor, tumaas pa siya, Your Honor.
You know, Mr. Senior Vice President, I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Your excuse.
Thank you, Your Honor.